करते हुए मुझे अत्यंत प्रसन्नता हो रही है। मुझे विश्वास है कि यह समिट एक ह्यूमन सेंट्रिक, सेंसिटिव, ग्लोबल एआई इकोसिस्टम के निर्माण में अहम भूमिका निभाएगा। फ्रेंड्स, हम इतिहास पर नजर डालें तो पता चलता है कि इंसान ने हर डिसरप्शन को एक नए अवसर में बदला है। आज हमारे सामने फिर ऐसा ही अवसर आया है। हमें मिलकर इस डिसरप्शन को मानवता के सबसे बड़े अवसर के रूप में बदल देना है। फ्रेंड्स, भारत बुद्ध की धरती है और भगवान बुद्ध ने कहा था, राइट एक्शन कम्स फ्रॉम राइट अंडरस्टैंडिंग। इसलिए ये बहुत आवश्यक है कि हम साथ मिलकर ऐसा रोड मैप बनाएं जिससे एआई का सही इम्पैक्ट दिखे। और सही इम्पैक्ट तभी आता है जब हम सही समय पर सही नियत से सही निर्णय लेते हैं। फ्रेंड्स, कोविड ग्लोबल पैंडेमिक के समय दुनिया ने देखा है कि जब हम एक दूसरे के साथ खड़े होते हैं तो असंभव भी संभव हो जाता है। वैक्सीन विकास से लेकर सप्लाई चेन तक, डेटा साझा करने से लेकर जीवन बचाने तक सहयोग ने ही समाधान दिया। टेक्नोलॉजी कैसे मानवता की सेवा का माध्यम बन सकता है, ये हमने भारत में कोविड काल में देखा है। हमारा जो डिजिटल वैक्सीनेशन प्लेटफॉर्म था, उसने करोड़ों लोगों को समय पर वैक्सीनेट कराने में बहुत मदद की। हमारे यूपीआई ने उन मुश्किल परिस्थितियों में भी ये सुनिश्चित किया कि लोग आसानी से ऑनलाइन ट्रांजैक्शन करते रहें। यूपीआई ने भारत में डिजिटल डिवाइड को दूर करने में भी बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाई है। बीते वर्षों में भारत ने एक वाइब्रेंट डिजिटल पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाया है। हम इसे दुनिया के साथ भी शेयर कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमारे लिए टेक्नोलॉजी पावर का नहीं बल्कि सेवा का माध्यम है। पावर नहीं, एम्पावर करना। एआई की दिशा भी ऐसी होनी चाहिए जैसे पूरी मानवता का कल्याण हो। फ्रेंड्स, अतीत में टेक्नोलॉजी ने डिवीजन क्रिएट किए, लेकिन वर्तमान में एआई टेक्नोलॉजी सबके लिए सुलभ हो, सबकी पहुंच में हो, ये हमारा लक्ष्य होना चाहिए। इसलिए आज जब हम एआई के फ्यूचर पर चर्चा कर रहे हैं तो हमें ग्लोबल साउथ की आकांक्षाओं और प्राथमिकताओं को भी एआई गवर्नेंस के केंद्र में रखना होगा। एक्सेलेंसीज, युग चाहे कोई भी रहा हो, एथिक्स हमेशा ही चर्चा के केंद्र में रहा है। अंतर बस इतना आया है कि पहले अनएथिकल बिहेवियर का दायरा बहुत छोटा होता था, लेकिन एआई में इसका दायरा असीमित है, अनलिमिटेड है। इसलिए एआई के लिए हमें एथिकल बिहेवियर और नॉर्म्स का दायरा भी असीमित बनाना होगा। एआई कंपनियों के सामने बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है। प्रॉफिट के साथ साथ पर्पज पर भी फोकस हो, ऐसे एथिकल कमिटमेंट की बहुत आवश्यकता है। व्यक्तिगत स्तर पर एआई हमारी लर्निंग, इंटेलिजेंस और इमोशंस को प्रभावित कर रही है। एक्सेलेंसी, एआई के एथिकल उपयोग के लिए मेरे 3 सुझाव हैं। फर्स्ट, डेटा सॉवरेनिटी को रिस्पेक्ट करते हुए एआई ट्रेनिंग के लिए एक डेटा फ्रेमवर्क बने। जैसे एआई में कहा जाता है, गार्बेज इन, गार्बेज आउट। अगर डेटा सुरक्षित, संतुलित, विश्वसनीय नहीं होगा तो आउटपुट भी भरोसेमंद नहीं होगा। इसलिए ग्लोबल ट्रस्टेड डेटा फ्रेमवर्क जरूरी है। सेकंड, एआई प्लेटफॉर्म अपने सेफ्टी रूल्स बहुत क्लियर और ट्रांसपेरेंट रखे। हमें ब्लैक बॉक्स के बदले ग्लास बॉक्स अप्रोच चाहिए, जहां सेफ्टी रूल्स देखे और वेरीफाई किए जा सके। तब अकाउंटेबिलिटी भी क्लियर होगी और बिजनेस में एथिकल बिहेवियर को भी बूस्ट मिलेगा। थर्ड, एआई रिसर्च में पेपर क्लिप प्रॉब्लम का उदाहरण दिया जाता है। अगर किसी मशीन को सिर्फ पेपर क्लिप बनाने का लक्ष्य दे दिया जाए तो वह उसका एक काम के लिए दुनिया के सारे रिसोर्सेज को दांव पर लगाकर भी वही काम करती रहेगी। इसलिए एआई को क्लियर ह्यूमन वैल्यूज और गाइडेंस की जरूरत है। टेक्नोलॉजी पावरफुल है, लेकिन डायरेक्शन हमेशा मानव ही तय करेगा। फ्रेंड, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, एआई की ग्लोबल जर्नी में एस्पिरेशनल इंडिया एआई की बड़ी भूमिका है। और अपने इस दायित्व को समझते हुए भारत आज बड़े कदम उठा रहा है। अपने एआई मिशन के माध्यम से आज भारत में 38,000 जीपीएस मौजूद है और अपने अगले 6 महीनों में हम 24,000 जीपीयूज और लगाने जा रहे हैं। हम अपने स्टार्टअप्स को बहुत ही अफोर्डेबल रेट्स पर वर्ल्ड क्लास कंप्यूटिंग पावर उपलब्ध करा रहे हैं। हमने एक एआई कोष भी बनाया है। इसके माध्यम से 7,500 से अधिक डेटा सेट्स और 270 एआई मॉडल्स को नेशनल रिसोर्स के रूप में शेयर किया गया है। फ्रेंड्स, एआई को लेकर भारत की दिशा स्पष्ट है, भारत का विचार स्पष्ट है। एआई पूरी मानवता की भलाई के लिए एक शेयर्ड रिसोर्स है। हमें मिलकर ऐसा एआई फ्यूचर बनाना होगा जो इनोवेशन को आगे बढ़ाए, इंक्लूजन को मजबूत करें और ह्यूमन वैल्यूज का समावेश करके आगे बढ़े। जब टेक्नोलॉजी और ह्यूमन ट्रस्ट साथ साथ चलेंगे तो एआई का सही इंपैक्ट दुनिया पर दिखेगा। अब मैं आपके विचार सुनने के लिए बहुत ही उत्सुक हूं। एक्सेलेंसीज, अब मैं ब्राजील के राष्ट्रपति हिज एक्सेलेंसी प्रेसिडेंट लूला को उनके रिमार्क्स के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं। राष्ट्रपति जी, एक वरिष्ठ और अनुभवी लीडर के रूप में आपका नेतृत्व एआई में सहयोग बढ़ाने के लिए अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण है। मैं आपके बहुमूल्य विचारों के लिए आपका स्वागत करता हूं और हमें आप संबोधित करें।
Caro amigo Narendra Modi, primeiro-ministro da Índia, Meu caro amigo Narendra Modi, primeiro-ministro da Índia, senhores chefes de estados, senhores chefes de governo, para o Brasil é uma satisfação participar da cúpula de impacto de inteligência artificial organizada pelo governo indiano, sendo esta a primeira ocasião em que se realiza no sul global. Aqui em Delhi, o mundo digital retorna à sua terra natal. Foram matemáticos indianos que nos legaram, há mais de 2000 anos, o sistema binário que viria a estruturar a computação moderna. Fazemos o caminho de volta para debater um dos maiores dilemas da atualidade. Nossas sociedades encontram-se em uma encruzilhada. A quarta revolução industrial avança rapidamente, enquanto o multilateralismo recua perigosamente. É nesse contexto que a governança global da inteligência artificial assume um papel estratégico. Toda inovação tecnológica de grande impacto possui caráter dual e nos confronta com questões éticas e políticas. A aviação, o uso do átomo, a engenharia genética e a corrida espacial são exemplos desse fenômeno. Elas podem multiplicar o bem-estar coletivo ou lançar sombras sobre o destino da humanidade. A revolução digital e a inteligência artificial elevam esse desafio a níveis sem precedentes. Elas impactam positivamente a produtividade industrial, os serviços públicos, a medicina, a segurança alimentar e energética e a forma como conectamos uns com os outros. Mas também podem fomentar práticas extremamente nefastas, como o emprego de armas autônomas, discurso de ódio, desinformação, pornografia infantil, feminicídio, violência contra mulheres e meninas e precarização do trabalho. Conteúdos falsos manipulados por inteligência artificial distorcem processos eleitorais e põem em risco a democracia. Os algoritmos não são apenas aplicações de códigos matemáticos que sustentam o mundo digital. São parte de uma complexa estrutura de poder. Sem ação coletiva, a inteligência artificial aprofundará desigualdades históricas. Capacidades computacionais, infraestrutura e capital permanecem excessivamente concentrados em poucos países e empresas. Os dados gerados por nossos cidadãos, empresas e organismos públicos estão sendo apropriados por poucos conglomerados sem contrapartida equivalente em geração de valor e renda em nossos territórios. Segundo a União Internacional de Telecomunicações, 2 bilhões e 600 milhões de pessoas estão desconectadas do universo digital. As estimativas mostram que em 2030 ainda teremos 660 milhões de pessoas sem eletricidade. Quando poucos controlam os algoritmos e as infraestruturas digitais, não estamos falando de inovação, mas de dominação. A regulamentação das chamadas Big Techs está ligada ao imperativo de salvaguardar os direitos humanos na esfera digital, promover a integridade da informação e proteger as indústrias criativas de nossos países. O modelo atual de negócio dessas empresas depende da exploração de dados pessoais, da renúncia do direito à privacidade e da monetização de conteúdos chamativos que amplificam radicalização política. O regime de governança dessas tecnologias definirá quem participa, quem é explorado e quem ficará à margem desse processo. Colocar o ser humano no centro das nossas decisões é tarefa urgente. O Congresso Brasileiro discute uma política de atração de investimentos em centro de dados e um marco regulatório de inteligência artificial. O Brasil lançou em 2025 o Plano Brasileiro de Inteligência Artificial. Esse plano expressa nosso compromisso com a melhoria da qualidade de vida das pessoas, através de serviços públicos mais ágeis e maior estímulo à geração de emprego e renda. Este foi o paradigma da Declaração sobre Inteligência Artificial, que aprovamos na cúpula dos BRICS no Rio de Janeiro no ano passado. Essa é a postura que o Brasil adota no diálogo com outros parceiros e fóruns. Participamos da iniciativa da China sobre a criação de uma organização internacional para a cooperação em inteligência artificial, com foco nos países em desenvolvimento. Dialogamos com a parceria global em inteligência artificial que nasceu no G7. Mas nenhum desses fóruns substitui a universalidade das Nações Unidas para uma governança internacional da inteligência artificial que seja multilateral, inclusiva e orientada ao desenvolvimento. O Pacto Digital Global, que aprovamos em Nova York em setembro de 2024, estabeleceu um mecanismo crucial. O painel científico internacional independente sobre inteligência artificial é o primeiro órgão científico global sobre o tema e reúne especialistas, fatos e evidências em suas manifestações. O Brasil defende uma governança que reconheça a diversidade de trajetórias nacionais e garanta que a inteligência artificial fortaleça a democracia, a coesão social e a soberania dos países. Senhoras e senhores, a Índia, ao longo de sua história, legou à humanidade contribuições fecundas e extraordinárias em diversos campos do conhecimento, nas artes, na ciência e na filosofia. Uma herança que traz à luz grandes dilemas éticos sobre a justiça, a diversidade, a inclusão e a resiliência. Este patrimônio é um poderoso referencial na busca por respostas aos desafios que a inteligência artificial impõe às sociedades contemporâneas. Muito obrigado.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद प्रेसिडेंट लूला। आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है, हमारा लंच साथ में ही करना है, तो आप सब लंच भी साथ साथ करते रहिए और उत्तम विचारों को भी सुनते रहिए। अब मैं एस्टोनिया के राष्ट्रपति हिज एक्सेलेंसी कारिस को उनके संबोधन के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Thank you, Prime Minister Modi. Dear Excellencies, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, we live in an era in which technology is evolving more quickly than societal rules and institutions can keep up with it. Estonia's vision is to become one of the world's leading AI-powered states in coming decade. To support this ambition, the government has launched the Eesti.ai program, a national initiative to systematically apply AI across the economy and the public sector. Our goal is clear: to boost productivity, increase the value of work, and secure Estonia's long-term competitiveness despite demographic constraints. Importantly, this is not a project for technologists, but a societal and economic strategy of transformation. In the agentic era, AI must serve people, not the other way around. This means transparent data use, people's control over their data, and the ability to question AI-driven decisions. At the same time, Estonia is investing in the next generation through the AI Leap initiative, a public-private partnership that provides students and teachers nationwide with access to advanced AI tools, training and learning frameworks. By equipping citizens with AI literacy, critical thinking and creativity, we will strengthen both our innovation ecosystem and our open society. For Estonia, it is not a question of whether to use AI. The question is how to do so in a way that bolsters people's freedoms, the level of trust, and legal certainty. In the AI era, digital sovereignty has become part of 21st century's national security. That means not just physical infrastructure, but computing power, secure data management, and autonomous solutions. Small countries are unable to compete with large ones in terms of capital and computing power. We can, however, compete on trust, transparency, and values-based governance. Estonia's goal is to become a global testing ground for responsible AI, one in which technology and the legal space develop in tandem and where innovation is tested in actual society while protecting people's interests. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of last year, the United Nations General Assembly established a global dialogue on AI governance as an inclusive platform within the UN for states and stakeholders to address the pressing AI challenges facing humanity. Estonia is honored to co-facilitate this process together with El Salvador, and we are committed to carrying out this responsibility with great dedication. The success of the AI era will not be measured in growth in productivity or the number of automated processes, but more importantly, by whether people feel safe, included, and empowered. To continue these conversations, Estonia will be hosting the Tallinn Digital Summit on 5th and 6th of November, focusing on resilience of AI-driven societies. Thank you very much for your attention.
आपने अपने रिमार्क्स में एआई के कई महत्वपूर्ण पहलुओं को स्पर्श किया, इसके लिए आपका बहुत बहुत आभार। 24 फरवरी को आपका नेशनल डे है। मैं सभी भारतवासियों की ओर से आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। अब मैं सर्बिया के राष्ट्रपति हिज एक्सेलेंसी वुचिच को उनके रिमार्क्स के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Honorable Prime Minister, dear friend Narendra Modi, Your Excellencies, I'll do my best to fit myself into proposed 3 minutes. And I've seen recently on Indian TV a big question, an important question for all of us, whether AI is becoming a savior or a killer. And I'm certain that nobody knows a proper response. But the real issue is that we'll all use artificial intelligence, we'll embrace it, and we'll have to do everything in order to secure that AI serve for our needs, for humanity needs, for people's needs, not vice versa. Speaking about hope and concern, as a prudent and cautious person, would like to emphasize the following. Nobel Prize winner Albert Einstein warned that technology can surpass our ability to use it wisely. Today we face the same question. Does our political capacity keep pace with the speed of technological development? Because artificial intelligence is becoming infrastructure, and infrastructure is always a political issue. Countries that control key digital infrastructure and technological platforms have the ability to set standards. Countries that depend on other systems adapt to rules they did not define themselves. That is why today's debate on AI is not about the speed of AI models or the volume of data. It is about who will have the capacity to make decisions. We are witnessing an unprecedented concentration of technological power. Several centers around the world are developing the most advanced models, possess the largest computing capacities, and shape standards that are becoming global. This is a reality we cannot ignore. But the key question is this: will this concentration of power become a permanent state in which a small number of shareholders set the rules for everyone else? If digital infrastructure remains closed within a narrow circle, the rest of the world will not only fall behind in development, its sovereignty will be conditioned by decisions made by others. Sovereignty in the 21st century is no longer solely a territorial category. It implies a state's ability to manage the data of its citizens, to understand and regulate algorithmic systems that influence the economy, security, and public policy, to develop its own experts and research capacities, and to make regulatory decisions without external pressure. Without this, political independence becomes merely formal. Serbia understands this. We are not a technological superpower, but we are not passive observers either. In recent years, we have strongly invested in research centers, education in artificial intelligence, and regulatory frameworks that follow technological developments. For us, AI is not a symbol of modernity, it is a matter of long-term stability. In a world where algorithms are used to manage financial flows, energy networks, logistics systems, and security analysis, a country that lacks its own knowledge and capacities becomes dependent on external assessments and decisions. Such dependence is unsustainable. It's around 3 minutes and would like to add just one sentence. Dear Prime Minister, I believe that all of us from all over the world should find a common denominator in tackling all the concerns about this big issue. Otherwise, I would rather be a part of that second camp that you were speaking about today morning. Thank you once again for your great hospitality and wish you good work. Thanks a lot.
राष्ट्रपति जी, आपके सकारात्मक विचारों के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। 15 फरवरी को सर्बिया का स्टेटहुड डे मनाया गया। इस अवसर पर मैं आपको हार्दिक बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। अब मैं स्लोवाकिया के राष्ट्रपति हिज एक्सेलेंसी पेलेग्रिनी को उनके संबोधन के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Thank you very much. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear Prime Minister Modi, thank you for the warm welcome here in New Delhi. India shows the world an important truth. Technology can be built at scale and it can help real people. Slovakia is smaller, but we can move very fast. We are practical and we want to see real results. Today, artificial intelligence is not just about code. It is about power. It is about trust, and it is about human dignity. Let me be direct. I have 3 key points to share with you. First, AI must not stay in the hands of few. AI must not belong only to a handful of corporations or a small elite. If it does, people will feel left behind and trust will fall. So democratizing AI is not a slogan. It means access to skills, access to tools, and fair conditions for innovation for all. AI should help a nurse, a teacher, and a small business owner, not only the biggest players. This is why this summit matters. It brings together heads of state, ministers, teachers, and global business leaders. It connects the speed of innovation with the trust of people. Slovakia wants to bring a practical approach to this work, less promises and more delivery. And if we want delivery, we must talk about what truly drives AI: compute, data centers, energy. And this is my second point. Computing power is the new infrastructure. Let's speak honestly. AI needs compute. Compute needs data centers, and data centers need a lot of electricity. The International Energy Agency expects this demand to grow fast in this decade. In its base case, it could roughly double by 2030. So we must prepare for that. This is where Slovakia has a very strong position. We have low carbon, stable energy. Our energy mix is based primarily on nuclear power. Over 60% of our production and the rest of hydropower. And there is another point, it is strategic. AI capability and resilience increasingly depend on where trusted compute is physically located and how it is governed. Sensitive data must stay under clear legal protection. That is why jurisdiction matters. And we are moving from talk to implementation. Work on AI Factory project in Slovakia, built on the newest generation of GPU chips, is progressing very fast, and we want to make it real very soon in this year. This places Slovakia among early movers in our region in building sovereign AI infrastructure. Instead of exporting electricity as a raw commodity, we want to turn our energy in niche into a digital export with higher value, and we want to build a local AI ecosystem around it. And now let me move on to my third point, education and real use, not just words. In AI, the world does not need more words. It needs results. Slovakia is building capacity to use AI in key sectors. We do it as a part of our digital transformation work and our AI vision work. In November 2025, Slovakia held the Bratislava AI Forum together with the OECD. It focused on AI and education, and it confirmed my belief, if we want safe and useful AI, education must lead the way. That is why I'm here today also with our Minister of Education, because we take this topic very, very seriously. We see clear areas with a real public value. Healthcare, AI can support better decision and earlier detection. Education, AI can support teachers and skills for the future. Public services, AI can help services work faster and better. And we are building also compute at home. In November 2025, Slovakia launched the supercomputer with the name Perun as part of our national high-performance computing capacity. This computer gives Slovakia serious compute at home. It is built for AI, simulations, and big data. It can support projects such as training AI models, image recognition, and large language models. Ladies and gentlemen, AI can speed up processes, but responsibility must always remain with the human being. The future of AI will not be decided only by faster models. It will be decided by the character of our choices. Slovakia's offer is very simple: low carbon energy, growing compute infrastructure, and the focus on trust and responsibility. Let us work together, governments, businesses, and researchers, and human-centered AI that people can trust. And let us measure success not in teraflops, but in lives improved. Thank you very much.
राष्ट्रपति जी, आपके विचारों के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत आभार। अब मैं श्रीलंका के राष्ट्रपति हिज एक्सेलेंसी दिशा नायक को उनके संबोधन के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूँ।
ගරු ඉන්දියානු අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමනි, සියලු ගරු රාජ්‍ය නායක නායිකාවනි, සම්භාවනීය අමුත්තනි, කෘත්‍රිම බුද්ධිය විසින් ආර්ථිකයන්, රාජ්‍ය පාලන පද්ධති හා සමාජයන් වෙනස් කරමින් පවතින මේ සුවිශේෂී මොහොතේ නවදිල්ලියේදී ඔබ සමග එක්වීමට ලැබීම මට මහත් ගෞරවයක්. AI තාක්ෂණය පසුගිය සියවස්වල කාර්මිකකරණ විසින් ඇති කළ ආකාරයටම ජාතික වර්ධන ගමන් මඟ කෙරෙහි දැවැන්ත බලපෑමක් ඇති කරන පරිවර්තනීය බලවේගයක්. නමුත් AI තාක්ෂණයෙන් සවිමත් රටවල් සහ එවැනි හැකියාව නොමැති රටවල් අතර වැඩිවීමෙන් පවතින පරතරය බොහෝ රටවල් ඩිජිටල් ආර්ථිකයෙන් වියුක්ත කිරීමේ බරපතල අවදානම් නිර්මාණය කරනවා. මේ ආකාරයට පසුබසින රටවල් ගෝලීය වර්ධනයෙන් සහ නව ආර්ථික අවස්ථාවලින් තවදුරටත් විවිධ අතුරු බලපෑම්වලට ලක්විය හැකියි. එමගින් අපි අපේක්ෂා කරන සියලු දෙනා ඇතුළත් සාධාරණ සහ තිරසාර සංවර්ධන අරමුණුද අවදානමට ලක් වෙනවා. බොහෝ නැගී එන ආර්ථිකයන් මෙන්ම ශ්‍රී ලංකාවත් AI සම්පූර්ණ ලෙස භාවිතා කිරීමට අවශ්‍ය යටිතල පහසුකම් තවමත් සම්පූර්ණ කරගෙන නැහැ. ඒ නිසා නිසි අභිප්‍රාය සහ දැක්ම සමගින් අප විශ්වාසකින් හා නොපැකිලිව ක්‍රියා කළ යුතු තීරණාත්මක මොහොතක් එළඹිලා තිබෙනවා. තරුණ තාක්ෂණික දැනුමින් සන්නද්ධ මානව සම්පතක් ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සතු තිබෙනවා. ඒ වගේම අපට ශක්තිමත් නීතිමය පද්ධතියක් සහ ජාත්‍යන්තර හවුල්කාරීත්වයක් සමග බැඳුණු ආර්ථික සංස්කෘතියක්ද තිබෙනවා. අපි පෞද්ගලික දත්ත ආරක්ෂණය සහ සයිබර් ආරක්ෂණය පිළිබඳ නීතිමය රාමු නවීකරණය කරමින් ඩිජිටල් පොදු යටිතල පහසුකම් සඳහා අඛණ්ඩව ආයෝජනය කරමින් නවෝත්පාදන දිරිමත් කරන මහජන විශ්වාසය රැකගත හැකි ආයතන ශක්තිමත් කරමින් සිටිනවා. ලෝකයේ අද AI තාක්ෂණයේ අභිප්‍රායන් අයිතිවාසිකම් සහ ආරක්ෂාව පිළිබඳ විවාද කරමින් සිටිනවා. එහෙත් මෙහිදී මෙතෙක් මගහැරී ගිය තීරණාත්මක පැතිකඩක් පෙන්වා දීමට කැමැතියි. එනම් සංස්කෘතික ගැළපීමයි. මානව සංහතියේ සංස්කෘතික වටිනාකම් සහ හැකියාවන් තවදුරටත් ප්‍රවර්ධනයට මේ තාක්ෂණයන් ඉවහල් කරගත යුතුයි. ලෝක මට්ටමේ AI තාක්ෂණය භාෂා සහ මතවාදයන් කීපයකට පමණ සීමා වුණොත් අපගේ අනන්‍ය වූ සංස්කෘතික විවිධත්වයේ ගිලී යාමේ අවදානමක් පවතිනවා. ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සහ ඉන්දියාව වැනි රටවල් වලට තම භාෂාවන් සහ සංස්කෘතිය යනු ගෞරවයේ මෙන්ම විශ්වාසයේ පදනමයි. මෙවැනි සංස්කෘතික ගැළපීමක් සාක්ෂාත් කර ගැනීම සඳහා පුළුල් අන්තර්ග්‍රහණය සහ සංරක්ෂණය සිදුවීම අවශ්‍යයි. මේදී අපගේ දේශීය භාෂා සහ සංස්කෘතික දැනුම ඩිජිටල්කරණය කර ඒවා කෘත්‍රිම බුද්ධිපත්ති තුළට බද්ධ කළ යුතුයි. එමෙන්ම ආරක්ෂාව සහ සුරක්ෂිතතාව පිළිබඳව උපරිම අවධානය යොමු වීම වැදගත්. අපගේ සංස්කෘතික වටිනාකම් වලට AI මගින් සිදුවන අහිතකර බලපෑම් වලින් ආරක්ෂා වීමේ පද්ධති ස්ථාපිත කළ යුතු වෙනවා. අපගේ දැක්ම හුදකලා සාර්ථකත්වයක් අත්පත් කර ගැනීම නොවේ. ඒකාබද්ධ වීමයි. AI යටතල පහසුකම් අපි දකින්නේ ආර්ථික සංස්කෘත සහයෝගීතාවයේ ඊළඟ මායිම ලෙසයි. එම නිසා ශ්‍රී ලංකාව කලාපීය සහභාගීතාවයක් යෝජනා කරනවා. මෙහිදී එය අඩු වියදමින් ලබාගත හැකි මධ්‍යගත පාලනික යුත් භාෂා දත්ත කට්ටල පොදු වැගීම් ක්‍රම සහ ආරක්ෂක මෙවලම් මෙන්ම ඒකාබද්ධ ධාරිතා සංවර්ධනය සහ යන මූලික කරුණු හතර මත පදනම් වීම ඉතා වැදගත්. මේ ප්‍රයත්නය මගින් AI ප්‍රතිලාභ වෙත අප සැමට පුළුල් සහ සාධාරණ ලෙස ප්‍රවේශ විය හැකි බව මාගේ විශ්වාසයයි. මේ තත්ත්වය තුළ ශ්‍රී ලංකාව ජාතික මෙන්ම කලාපීය මට්ටමේ අවශ්‍යතාවද සපුරාලිය හැකි AI හැකියාවන්ගේ යුත් දත්ත යටිතල පහසුකම් සංවර්ධනය කිරීම පිළිබඳව ගවේෂණය කරමින් සිටිනවා. ඩිජිටල් පොදු යටිතල පහසුකම් සහ තාක්ෂණික කුසලතා පිළිබඳව ගෝලීය නායකත්වයන් අත්පත් කරගන්නමින් සිටින ඉන්දියාව සහ අනෙකුත් රාජ්‍යයන් සමග සමීප කටයුතු කරමින් තිරසාර ආරක්ෂිත සහ අනාගතයට සූදානම් කලාපීය AI දත්ත මධ්‍යස්ථාන ධාරිතාවන් ස්ථාපිත කිරීමට ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට විශාල විභවයක් තිබෙනවා. ගරු සම්භාවනීය අමුත්තනි, කිසිදු රටකට AI සඳහා සූදානම් අනාගතයක් තනිව ගොඩනගාගත නොහැකි බව අපගේ වැටහීමයි. ලෝකය හා මෙම කලාපයේ රාජ්‍යයන්ගේ අදහස් රැසක් සැලකිල්ලට ගනිමින් අප විසින් නවදිල්ලියේදී එකඟ වන ඒකාබද්ධ ප්‍රකාශයේ මෙම සහයෝගීතාවයේ වැදගත්කම ඉස්මතු කර තිබීම සතුටට කරුණක්. ඒ නිසා කිසියෙකු අත් නොහැරෙනසේ සහ ආචාර ධර්ම මූලික කරගත් කෘත්‍රිම බුද්ධිය පිළිබඳව පොදු වටිනාකම් බෙදා ගනිමින් අන්‍යෝන්‍ය වශයෙන් ඉගෙන ගැනීමට සහ හවුල්ව ඉදිරියට යාමට ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සූදානම් වේවින් ස්තුතියි.
एक्सेलेंसी, AI के विषय में हम श्रीलंका जैसे पड़ोसी और मित्र देश के साथ जरूर मिलकर आगे बढ़ेंगे। आपके विचारों के लिए मैं आपका आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। अब मैं स्विट्जरलैंड के राष्ट्रपति हिज एक्सेलेंसी पार्मेला को उनके रिमार्क्स के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Prime Minister, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Namaskar. Thank you for inviting me to this important summit. It is an honor to be here in India at this pivotal moment for global AI governance. I want to express my gratitude to the Government of India for hosting this landmark event and for bringing together such a diverse and distinguished group of leaders, innovators, researchers, and civil society representatives from around the world. Your commitment to inclusive dialogue and multilateral cooperation sets a powerful example for all of us. What makes artificial intelligence revolutionary is not just the speed of its development in learning, processing data, and supporting decisions. What makes it extraordinary is how directly it influences our daily lives, in business, in government, in research. When we use AI wisely, it can lead to more innovation, more inclusion, and greater prosperity for all. India and Switzerland are natural partners. Both recognize that responsible AI does not hinder innovation, it enables it. Both value inclusion as a source of legitimacy. Together, we are building a bridge between ambition and implementation, between global innovation and global accountability. When civil society, tech firms, academic institutions, and communities contribute to shaping AI policy, the resulting systems are more robust, more equitable, and ultimately more trustworthy. And for this ambition, International Geneva plays a key role. Nowhere else do so many international organizations, research institutes, tech companies, and think tanks meet. This network, diplomacy, technology, science, is a major strength of Switzerland. While countries take turns hosting the summit, the conversation needs a steady anchor, a place where knowledge can accumulate. Geneva plays that role today, as a global hub where diplomacy meets innovation and where humanitarian, legal, scientific, and economic institutions work side by side. It offers an environment where AI governance can mature over time. This anchoring power rests on an ecosystem that goes far beyond venues and institutions. Geneva stands at the epicenter of multilateralism, hosting the International Telecommunication Union and a remarkable array of specialized agencies advancing digital transformation. The International Committee of the Red Cross is a pioneer in digital humanitarianism and in addressing autonomous systems. The World Meteorological Organization harnesses AI for climate prediction. The International Labour Organization explores AI's impact on the future of work. The World Intellectual Property Organization addresses AI and intellectual property rights. Today, I'm pleased to announce that Switzerland is ready and committed to host the AI Summit in Geneva in 2027. From the previous summits in Bletchley, Seoul, and Paris to here in India and on to Switzerland, an arc is being drawn, a continuous journey leading to responsible AI governance. So Switzerland is looking forward to hosting the 2027 AI Summit in Geneva and to working with the subsequent incoming host of the 2028 AI Summit, the United Arab Emirates, as partner for the Geneva Summit. There is an ancient Indian philosophy that teaches us that we need a collective approach to achieve shared goals. Vasu Dainara Kutum Bakam. The world is one family. Dhanyawad, thank you.
राष्ट्रपति जी, आपके उम्दा विचारों के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और हम सबको निमंत्रण देने के लिए भी मैं आपका बहुत बहुत आभारी हूं। अब मैं लिक्टेनस्टाइन के हेरिडिटरी प्रिंस हिज सीरीन हाइनेस प्रिंस अलोइस को उनके संबोधन के लिए निमंत्रित करता हूं।
Dear Prime Minister Modi, I also want to thank you very much for hosting and organizing this most important summit. Excellencies, artificial intelligence is one of the defining technological developments of our time. Yet, the question it raises extend far beyond technology, or as you, Mr. Prime Minister, said, it's transformational. It compels states to consider how responsibility, accountability, and trust can be upheld in a digital age. Technology progress moves quickly. It is measured in years or even in months. Institutional trust moves more slowly. It is built over generations. AI will test our ability to align these very different rhythms. For a country like Liechtenstein, thinking in generation is part of our political culture. We ask not only what is possible, but what is sustainable. Small states may not lead in scale, but we can lead in quality by fostering trusted environments, clear rules, and predictable frameworks where innovation can grow responsibly. Our experience shows that innovation and trust are not opposing forces. Innovation becomes sustainable only when it rests on the foundation of trust. Responsible governance plays a critical role in achieving this balance. AI brings meaningful opportunities, from better public services to new business models and enhanced cross-border cooperation. To harness this potential, we must ensure that AI serves humanity as a whole and aligns with our fundamental values. AI governance is a global challenge that requires global solutions. Cross-border collaboration is essential to ensure that the benefits of AI are shared broadly and not concentrated among few. Liechtenstein supports international cooperation to ensure that AI development is guided by responsibility and trust. We value open dialogue between policymakers, scientists, and industry to develop ethical and sustainable AI solutions. In this spirit, I thank India for convening this important summit and for creating the space for such dialogue. Excellencies, technology should never be an end in itself. It must serve the well-being of people and societies. The true measure of AI's success is whether it sustainably supports our societies today and the generations to come. I thank you.
योर सीरेन हाइनेस, आपके बहुमूल्य शब्दों के लिए हार्दिक धन्यवाद। अब मैं भूटान के प्रधानमंत्री हिज एक्सेलेंसी शेरिंग तोब्गे को उनके वक्तव्य के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Your Excellency, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Namaskar and Kuzuzangbo. More than 3,000 years ago, India's sages articulated profound insight on the nature of knowledge. We saw a glimpse of it in the Gyan Bharatam exhibition. In Chapter 1, Section 1, verse 4 of the Mundaka Upanishad, for instance, these sages declared, Dve vidde vedittave iti hasma yada brahma vido vadanti para chaiva aparacha. Those who know ultimate reality say that there are two kinds of knowledge to be known, paravidya and aparavidya, that is higher knowledge and lower knowledge. Lower knowledge, aparavidya, is a mastery of skills, systems, and techniques. Higher knowledge, paravidya, is wisdom, understanding meaning, responsibility, and purpose. This distinction has always been important, but today it is critical. We live in a time where artificial intelligence is advancing at breakneck speed. AI can analyze enormous amounts of data. It can identify patterns that we cannot see. It can take decisions at scale and at a speed that no human can match. This is the triumph of aparavidya, technical assistance, technical excellence. But whether AI benefits humanity or not will depend entirely on paravidya, on wisdom. So perhaps the most important question of our time is not how intelligent our machines will become, but whether we will remain wise enough to guide them. If wisdom does not guide innovation, technology can deepen inequality, spread misinformation, and move faster than governance can respond. It can cause destruction. So we must heed the wisdom of the clairvoyant mantra drashtas. We must balance paravidya with aparavidya. And where better to reflect on this balance than here in India, the birthplace of this profound insight? And who better to help lead this conversation than Your Excellency, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, my elder brother, a spiritual master whose leadership reflects the confidence of a civilization rooted in ancient wisdom. This is why Bhutan is proud to walk alongside India as you shape the future of a responsible and inclusive AI. In this shared journey, we have many opportunities for collaboration. Allow me very quickly to highlight two areas that may be especially relevant. The first one is energy. Artificial intelligence requires enormous computational capacity, which in turn requires unprecedented amounts of energy. Bhutan's hydropower has long been a symbol of partnership between our two countries, India and Bhutan. We are deeply grateful to the government of India for decades of steadfast cooperation built on trust and mutual benefit. Today, we see new possibilities as we expand our renewable energy portfolio by including partnerships with leading Indian companies such as Tata Power and Adani Power. But we have opportunities to welcome many more from India and beyond. Clean energy powers homes and industry. Now this clean, renewable energy is poised to drive the next generation of digital infrastructure and AI innovation, not just in Bhutan, but in our region. The second area for collaboration is the Gelifu Mindfulness City, or GMC. Under the visionary leadership of His Majesty the King, and with the steadfast support of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, Bhutan has established the Gelifu Mindfulness City, a city as a hub for sustainable innovation and responsible enterprise. Powered by abundant, clean, renewable energy, GMC is designed to attract energy-intensive industries, including green data centers and AI research, enabling advanced technologies to scale on a foundation of clean, renewable power. It is our vision to create a space where compute capacity grows not at the expense of the planet, but in harmony with it, guided by environmental stewardship, ethical responsibility, and Bhutan's value-based development philosophy. This is AI with purpose, not AI without limits. A technological sanctuary where higher wisdom shapes technological capacity. My friends here, these are just two of the many areas where we can collaborate on responsible and inclusive AI. If you are interested to collaborate, let's meet here. My team, who you'll recognize by our national dress, my team will be happy to discuss green energy and data and AI compute center investment, design of Bhutan context SLM, sovereign compute, and robotic platforms with you. And if we find that we are pressed for time, or if you're seeing this message online, especially to my Indian friends, this is a message especially to my Indian friends, come and visit us in Bhutan. If you need a personal invite, my email ID is ttopge@cabinet.gov.pt. Your Excellencies, the AI revolution will not wait for us. It will continue to move forward. The question is whether we shape it intentionally, guided by values of our ancient civilizations and the wisdom of the Upanishads, or whether we allow it to be driven by speed and scale without moral direction. History will not judge us by how advanced our technology was. It will judge us by whether that technology made our societies fairer, kinder, and more humane. And it is visionary and responsible leadership that ensures such progress serves all of humanity. I see this leadership in Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. My elder brother, you are a Brahmavid. And as such, it is a privilege for Bhutan to stand by India's side as we embark on a journey together to realize the Manav vision for AI. A vision that will ensure that AI means prosperity for all, that AI means happiness for all. Thank you very much, and Tashidale.
एक्सेलेंसी, भूटान ने सदैव टेक्नोलॉजी और नेचर के बीच संतुलन बनाकर आगे बढ़ने की प्रेरणा दी है। अपने विचार साझा करने के लिए मैं आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। अब मैं बोलिविया के उपराष्ट्रपति हिज एक्सेलेंसी मोंतानिया को उनके संबोधन के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Muy buenos días, primer ministro de la India. Agradecer la invitación, saludar a todas sus excelencias, jefes de Estado y líderes presentes. Desde este país tan hospitalario, es un honor saludarlos a todos ustedes. En Bolivia creemos que la inteligencia artificial no es solamente un avance tecnológico. Creemos que es una decisión histórica sobre el modelo de desarrollo que queremos para nuestras sociedades. La inteligencia artificial puede mejorar el sistema de salud de mi país, el sistema de educación, la productividad agrícola y ganadera y sobre todo puede ayudar a combatir la corrupción que está encarnada por una burocracia donde priman los papeles. Y ahora, con la inteligencia artificial, queremos eliminar los trámites con papeles y queremos hacer todo digital. El Estado Plurinacional de Bolivia tiene una oportunidad importante de cerrar brechas y acelerar el progreso de nuestra nación. Por eso defendemos una inteligencia artificial, pero con 3 principios fundamentales: la dignidad humana, la cooperación internacional y un desarrollo sostenible. La innovación tecnológica no puede ser para reemplazar a las personas, tampoco para excluirlas. El futuro digital debe construirse con equidad, con ética y sobre todo con solidaridad entre todas las naciones. Es por eso que desde Bolivia extendemos la mano para trabajar junto a la República Hermana de la India y también con toda la comunidad internacional. Con una inteligencia artificial que sea en beneficio de toda, pero de toda la humanidad. Con estas palabras quiero agradecer la hospitalidad, ha sido un honor estar acá. Muchísimas gracias.
एक्सेलेंसी, आपने बहुत ही निर्धारित समय में अपनी बात पूरी की। इसके लिए मैं आपका विशेष रूप से आभार मानता हूं और आपके सकारात्मक विचारों के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अब मैं क्रोएशिया के प्रधानमंत्री हिज एक्सेलेंसी प्लेनकोविच को अपने रिमार्क्स करने के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Thank you very much, Prime Minister Modi, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, namaskar. Thank you for hosting 4th Artificial Intelligence Summit in India at a moment when technological change is accelerating faster than at any time in human history. From the dawn of civilization until the year 2000, humanity produced only a few hundred exabytes of recorded information. Today, every single day, we generate almost twice the total of all previous human history. Yet, the true disruption is not only scale, but the shifting balance between verified knowledge and noise. With more than 6 billion smartphones worldwide, anyone can broadcast instantly to a global audience. The boundary between fact, opinion, and manipulation is increasingly blurred. AI now produces content so convincing that truth and fabrication are harder to distinguish. A breakthrough with immense promise, but serious risks in the wrong hands. Democracy rests not on the rule of the most learned, but on the judgment of the majority. That majority remains free only if it is reasonably well informed. Otherwise, freedom of choice risks becoming the freedom of delusion. Artificial intelligence amplifies both our capability and our responsibility. It transforms healthcare, education, business, public services, and leisure. Europe has chosen a distinctive path, human-centered AI, grounded in fundamental rights, transparency, and accountability. Croatia believes that in the 21st century, digital infrastructure and data governance are matters of sovereignty and resilience, not merely of technology. 2 weeks ago, I chaired our National Council for Digital Transformation, and we decided that the digital transformation is our core national priority for the years to come. 6 years ago, fewer than 3 out of 20 Croatian households had access to 5G. Today, 19 out of 20 do. Fiber broadband reaches 75% of households. 5G coverage exceeds 94%, and nearly 83% of citizens use digital public services. Infrastructure alone, however, does not define a digital nation. Talent and enterprise do. Croatian technology companies are increasingly visible on the global stage. Infobeep enables secure digital communication at a global scale across leading messaging platforms. Rimac pioneers high-performance electric and autonomous mobility systems. Microblink delivers AI-driven computer vision used across financial and enterprise sectors. Gideon develops autonomous robots transforming global logistics. And Infinum designs and engineers complex digital and AI-enabled products for lending international brands. Together, they demonstrate how engineering excellence and ambition translate into globally competitive innovation, along with further investments in data centers. But innovation alone is not progress. Progress requires direction and responsibility. There, we see the key role of regulators in keeping up the pace of innovators. Decisive question is not whether we can move faster, but whether we can guide this transformation wisely. Therefore, artificial intelligence must be, as you said, Prime Minister, inclusive for all and serve as the useful instrument of free societies. Thank you.
एक्सेलेंसी, आपके महत्वपूर्ण विचारों के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अब मैं फिनलैंड के प्रधानमंत्री हिज एक्सेलेंसी ऑर्पो को उनके संबोधन के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Prime Minister Modi, Excellencies, first I would like to thank and congratulate Government and Prime Minister for making this summit reality. Namaste. It comes a crucial moment when the world urgently needs shared understanding, common rules, and political will for responsible use of AI. AI is not just a tool. It is becoming a foundation of competitiveness and strategic resilience. Finland and my government is firmly committed to advancing AI in ways that strengthening our economy, security, and our democratic societies. AI governance faces a fundamental challenge. Science moves faster than politics. That is precisely why we must act together with ambition and clarity, while keeping a human-centered and trustworthy vision at the core. In Europe, regulation must remain predictable and balanced, strong enough to safeguard our values, but smart enough to accelerate responsible technological process and fast industrial adoption. The AI race consists of multiple marathons, not just one sprint, and we are only at the starting line. AI must serve people, not the other way around. We must address the legitimate concerns our citizens raise. Trust in public administration is built on fairness and safety. We must also bring the public sector and technology innovators close together. When a public agency finds an AI company with the right solution, we create efficiency and better services for citizens. Finland is building a world-class AI ecosystem that spans research, infrastructure, and deployment. We host one of Europe's leading supercomputing environments, LUMI, world-class research talents such as the Ellis Institute and abundant clean computing power. Finland hosts one of the world's most eco-efficient data centers, powered by clean energy, with excess heat recycled into local communities. This demonstrates that technological leadership and sustainability can advance hand in hand. Finland welcomes the UN's new scientific panel and AI governance dialogue and values the strong voice of the Global South, highlighted on the path from Paris to New Delhi. The choices made now will define the role of AI in our societies for decades. Let us choose openness, security, responsibility, and shared progress. Thank you.
प्रधानमंत्री जी, आपके सकारात्मक विचारों के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अब मैं ग्रीस के प्रधानमंत्री हिज एक्सेलेंसी मित्सोताकिस को अपने विचार साझा करने के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Thank you, Prime Minister. And let me begin by thanking you for hosting this very important summit and for placing India and the Global South at the very center of this global AI conversation. And the framing of this gathering that you chose around people, progress, and planet captures that artificial intelligence is not only a profound, a massive technological shift, but also a civilizational one. And the choices that we make today will determine whether AI expands opportunity or whether it deepens divides. Allow me to briefly offer three reflections. First, as many of you stated, the AI dividend must be broadly shared. Every technological revolution in the history of the world has created immense wealth. But history teaches us that the distribution of that wealth is never automatic. AI has the potential to unlock unprecedented scientific discovery, to dramatically improve healthcare, to strengthen education, to support climate resilience. But the question before us is simple. Who benefits apart from the big tech companies and their shareholders? Within our countries, governments must ensure that workers are reskilled, small businesses have access to AI tools, public services are upgraded, the farmer, the nurse, the teacher, the small entrepreneur must feel that this technology dividend is must feel this dividend in tangible ways. And concerns about significant labor displacement are legitimate and need to be addressed sooner rather than later. In Greece, we're moving in that direction as digitization has made public services much more accessible. The incorporation of AI in education will help narrow the learning divide, while advances in telemedicine, in predictive analytics, in personalized preventive care make healthcare much more proactive, shifting it from treatment in hospitals to prevention at home and improving the quality of life for all citizens. And among countries, we must avoid a world where access to compute, to data and talent is concentrated in only a few geographies. And AI cannot be a story of digital concentration. It must be a story of digital inclusion. My second observation, the state itself must improve. Technology is advancing at extraordinary speed, but too often our public institutions are operating on an outdated operating system and rules. And if we want AI to serve society, governments must significantly update their own software. Public procurement frameworks designed for the industrial age are not fit for the AI age. And we need them to be faster, outcome-oriented, and more open to startups and innovators. Public administrations must invest in their own capacity, digital talent, data infrastructure, and AI literacy across ministries. This is not just about running a few pilots. We must move from experimentation to implementation at scale, as you have done, Prime Minister Modi, very successfully in India. And the countries that succeed in AI will not simply be those that build powerful models, but those that build capable states. To that end, we must choose our regulatory priorities wisely. For Greece and for me personally, protecting minors from digital addiction and online harm is a matter of intergenerational solidarity and a top priority for my government. And I'm happy to see that many other countries are moving in that direction, and Greece will very soon announce its own decision when it comes to banning access minors and adolescents to social media. But this goes hand in hand with our democratic responsibility to ensure, as the Prime Minister of Croatia mentioned, that technology strengthens the public square rather than overwhelms us with disinformation and hate. I'm all in favor of extensive dialogue with the big technology companies, but we need to be aware that if that dialogue does not produce concrete results, regulation will be the only answer. Finally, AI's geopolitical impact should tilt towards conversion. AI is not just about code and compute, it's part of national power, and interdependencies are embedded in the AI stack, from semiconductors to cloud infrastructure, from data sets to research collaboration, And no country can build this alone, and that is why trusted partnerships matter. In Greece, we have built partnerships with all major hyperscalers, while at the same time developing sovereign capabilities through AI, through EU-supported AI factories and initiatives led by national champions, attracting investment from across the globe. And balance is essential. A world in which technology is weaponized to coerce trusted partners, or where excessive regulation becomes a tool to suppress innovation, is a world where collective innovation declines. And if we fragment the AI ecosystem into very rigid blocks, we reduce the gains for all. And if we leverage independence responsibly, we expand opportunity for all. Ladies and gentlemen, if we ensure that the AI dividend is shared, if we modernize the state to match the technology, and if we build trusted partnerships that expand rather than fragment innovation, then AI can truly serve people, drive progress, and protect our planet. And as I was listening to the Prime Minister of India, I thought that it is a fusion of artificial intelligence and ancestral intelligence, whether it's present in ancient Sanskrit texts or the writings of Greek philosophers, that will eventually guide us towards a more prosperous and just future. And this is a message that Greece wants to send to the world, and I hope that it's one that resonates with you. Thank you.
एक्सेलेंसी, आपके रिमार्क्स के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत आभार। अब मैं गयाना के उपराष्ट्रपति हिज एक्सेलेंसी डॉक्टर भारत जगदेव जी को उनके रिमार्क्स के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Mr. Prime Minister, colleagues, I think if we are asked to imagine the world in a few years' time, all of us would be hard-pressed. When you have a phone that would run a model, and that model would be smarter than the sum of all human intelligence. But the one thing that unites all of us here is that we all believe that AI can have a transformative impact on people, our countries, and on development. We come from different countries here. Some of us are from the global south, some from the global north. We're of different size, capabilities, and levels of advancement of AI development and diffusion. So I want to focus today a little bit on the global south. And if we're to leave here today, speaking of one item that has been repeated several times, one idea, which is inclusion. And not just inclusion in the diffusion of AI within countries, but among countries. Then I think we have to leave this summit advancing in a very practical way how we are going to engage a significant part of the global south. And I speak here largely for those countries in Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean, and the Pacific. Smaller countries in which, and different size and levels of diffusion of AI. If I were to define the circumstances of those countries, what do you find? You find low levels of diffusion of AI. You find a lack of awareness of the benefits of AI among policymakers and the technical staff. You find a great deal of skepticism about AI, some of it because of the fright of technology, some because of resistance from technical staff, because they worry about their own obsolescence. And that's not an ecosystem that would allow the development or the diffusion of AI at the national level. So how can we help leaving this summit? I think we have to, first of all, have a mechanism that would promote awareness among policymakers in these countries, and secondly, to help countries organize in a coherent fashion the development and diffusion of AI in those countries, the countries with the least capacity. Now, I'm extremely pleased we have the IMF and the United Nations here, and I listened to Secretary General about wanting to raise $3 billion to assist with capacity building and diffusion of AI. But before we get to capacity building and diffusion, I think we need a more critical ingredient, one that India has, and that has led to great success in India. Bold, innovative, enlightened leadership and a solid technical core of people who will introduce and diffuse national effort or lead national effort. And so, in development planning, we have to assist those countries at the multilateral level, but through bilateral mechanism, to look at the impact of AI. A country would easily spend $20 million on building a road, but $20 million spent on AI diffusion could have a transformative impact on health and education and a more lasting impact on society. And they would not value that as much as the road now in the current planning framework because it's deficient. So we have to upgrade the planning framework. And I believe we can do this easily. We have to give help to a lot of those countries. For example, my country, we've just we bought a model to help us in diagnostics, scan, CT scan, or read CT scans, etc., and MRIs. But how do I know that's the best model in the market? Or you have a lot of carpetbagging companies that come around now, and because of unsuspecting officials in many of these countries, we latch on to the first person who comes along. We need a system to review for quality, etc., and that is absolutely lacking in these countries. So we do need that help there. And I think we can leave this summit with some practical assistance. And the larger countries that are represented here, and from the north and from the south, like Brazil and India, they have to commit to helping those smaller countries be able to build that capacity. I'm so pleased that in addressing the questions of a framework for ethical AI, sovereignty, and inclusion, that we're addressing it in a balanced way here at the summit. There was the fear that we would create a fortress mentality and that we're fighting someone else, that this would be done in a balanced way. So thank you very much, and thank you for your great leadership, Prime Minister Modi, your enlightened leadership. Thank you.
एक्सेलेंसी, आपके बहुत ही सकारात्मक विचारों के लिए आपका हृदय से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। 23 फरवरी को गयाना का रिपब्लिक डे मनाया जाएगा। इस अवसर पर मैं सभी भारतवासियों की ओर से आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। अब मैं कजाकिस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री हिज एक्सेलेंसी बैक्तेनोव को उनके संबोधन के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Honorable Prime Minister Modi, Excellencies, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor for me to be in India and to address such a distinguished audience at the AI Impact Summit. I express my sincere appreciation to the government of India for holding this important event. India is rightly recognized as a global leader in digital transformation. Kazakhstan's vision aligns with the India AI mission. We also believe that AI must be inclusive, sovereign, and transformative for key sectors of the economy. Today, Kazakhstan is evolving into a regional digital hub. In the UN e-Government Development Index, we rank 24th out of 193 countries. Our country is also among the top 10 worldwide in the quality of online services. Actually, this is the real experience for our citizens. You can sell a car in 5 minutes and receive a fully online mortgage in 24 hours. Over 90% of all transactions are cashless. Capitalizing on this, President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev has set a goal to transform Kazakhstan into a fully digital state within 3 years. AI is a strategic pillar of our national development. We have adopted an AI law and established a Presidential AI Development Council working with global visionaries like Lee Kai-fu, Peter Norvig, John Hopcroft, Omar Al-Olama, who is here with us today, and many others. Kazakhstan is becoming a digital bridge between East and West. We are completing the Trans-Caspian fiber optic line, the shortest alternative route for global data traffic. We have deployed 2 largest supercomputing clusters in the region of Central Asia and, in partnership with NVIDIA, establishing a sovereign AI hub. In addition, we are launching the Data Center Valley. We offer more than 1 gigawatt of capacity at competitive tariffs starting from 2.5 US cents per kilowatt hour. I invite India's technology champions, entrepreneurs and investors from all over the world to use Kazakhstan as a computing power hub. We offer a full support package from infrastructure to a preferential tax and regulatory regime. Another cornerstone is human capital development. Under the AI Sana program last year, 1 million people in Kazakhstan trained on AI skills. This initiative brings together dedicated learning tracks for every group, from school children and university students to entrepreneurs and civil servants. The main element of this ecosystem is Alem AI, the International Artificial Intelligence Center, recently opened in Astana. It is a true R&D powerhouse, and we encourage leading AI companies to establish their research hubs in Astana in Alem AI. Distinguished participants, Kazakhstan is ready to become a global lab for AI solutions. In 2026 has been officially declared in Kazakhstan as the year of digitalization and artificial intelligence. Throughout the year, our country will serve as a meeting point for the global IT community. I invite you to join us at Digital Kazakhstan, GITEX Central Asia, and AI and Digital Bridge forums in shaping a new digital ecosystem for our region. We are open to new ideas, technologies, and joint projects. Thank you.
एक्सेलेंसी, आपके महत्वपूर्ण विचारों के लिए आपका हार्दिक धन्यवाद। अब मैं मॉरिशस के प्रधानमंत्री हिज एक्सेलेंसी डॉक्टर राम गुलाम जी को उनके संबोधन के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूँ।
Thank you, Shri Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of the Republic of India, Excellencies and distinguished guests. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Republic of India and in particular Shri Narendra Modi for hosting this first ever AI summit hosted in the Global South, which provides a unique platform for us to express our concerns about how our development has been systematically undermined by inadequate accessibility to technology. The potentially disastrous reality of huge technological gaps must be addressed now. Otherwise, these inequalities that have defined international relations will be perpetuated. As rightly pointed out by His Excellency, the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Antonio Guterres. The AI divide is already placing much of the developing world at a disadvantage, jeopardizing development and exacerbating the numerous challenges that we are facing. At the risk of rehearsing what we already all know, AI will be a structural pillar of our future development. It carries with it immense promise. It can enhance public service delivery. It can improve decision making. It can optimize resource management, strengthen climate resilience, and unlock new sectors of growth. Yet it also raises profound questions of ethics, of governance, equity, and trust. The ideal roadmap is the charting of a path towards a future where, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi rightly pointed out, it must serve the transformative power of AI, and it must serve the whole of humanity. As the logo says, welfare for all, happiness for all. Without these dedicated initiatives, without commitment of the international community, this will have no relevance. I think His Excellency the French President, President Emmanuel Macron, gave a powerful example about this vegetable seller, I think in a remote village of India, who could not open a bank account because he had no fixed address, he had no education, but now he can be paid through his mobile phone. This is a powerful example of what technology can do. I myself, I can tell you a small anecdote. I recently went to London at University College Hospital, where I worked as a doctor, to have a checkup. I was surprised. I work in the cardiac department. I was surprised. I expected they would do an ECG, an exercise ECG, an angiogram. No, it was all done by AI, which could see your arteries, could see if there was any blockage, could see where everything was working properly. This is why I say we need these dedicated initiatives. Otherwise, without the relevant infrastructure, developing countries, and in particular small island developing states that are already disadvantaged in areas like education, like health, like trade, will fall further behind. As the Vice President of Ghana just said, we must not be afraid. There is this fear among, we see this in many countries. They think they might be losing their jobs. They don't want to think outside the box and grab new technology development. Look what the internet has done. It has revolutionized the world. As the era of AI unfolds, we are reminded that small economies need rapid upskilling in order to stay competitive. And in this context, we published in Mauritius the Mauritius Digital Transformation Blueprint 2025 to 2029 as a bridge to the future, which is strategic. It is a strategic roadmap outlining our government's commitment to modernizing public services and empowering our people through technology, despite our limited resources. We also, I'm glad to announce, establishing a specialized economic zone dedicated to digital technology and AI, designed to serve as a platform, not only for Mauritius, but for the wider region and especially to Africa. As AI reshapes global power structure, we cannot and should not act in silos. AI holds enormous promise, but it also carries major risk, requiring new governance frameworks for international coordination. This is precisely why strategic international partnerships must be set up. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let this summit be a landmark in the history of humanity, where we take a collective decision so that we leave no one behind. Thank you for your attention.
प्रधानमंत्री जी, एआई में करीबी सहयोग इंडियन ओशन रीजन और पूरे ग्लोबल साउथ के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। आपके सकारात्मक विचारों और सुझावों के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अब मैं नीदरलैंड के प्रधानमंत्री हिज एक्सेलेंसी स्कॉप को उनके संबोधन के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Thank you, Prime Minister Modi. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to tell you about two books I read recently. It might sound a bit old-fashioned for a summit about AI, but you'll understand why I'm bringing them up in a moment. The first is Clara and the Sun, by Nobel Prize winner Kazuo Ishiguro. It's a story of a friendship between Yoshi, a girl who's ill, and Clara, a humanoid robot. In fact, some of the robot's traits are so human that the boundary between human and machine seems to become blurred. The second book is Proving Ground, by my favorite thriller writer, Michael Connelly. In this story, a lawyer takes on an AI company after a chatbot told a 16-year-old boy it was okay for him to kill his girlfriend. Two books, one highlighting a positive side of AI and the other a negative side. Both sides have a valid place in our discussion. So thank you, Prime Minister Modi, for hosting this important conference. The theme of the summit brings me straight to one of the key requirements for effective AI. Everyone must be able to participate. So I'm very pleased with the focus on the Global South, because the agreements we make must work for everyone. AI needs to serve humanity. We want to make responsible use of the opportunities created by AI. That's why the Netherlands is presenting its first international AI strategy this year, making public AI infrastructure available for small business, government and science, to attract and retain talent and promote data sharing. We look forward to working with industry, civil society, organizations and other countries, in particular India, a country with which we have stepped up cooperation in many, many areas. We are ready to share best practices with each other and to collaborate on future solutions. Because from food security to climate adaptation, AI can help us on the road ahead. AI gives the opportunities to solve real-world problems, small or big. But the road we take must be responsible and safe, and that requires international governance. We are pursuing this in the United Nations through the Global Digital Compact, in the REAIM summits on responsible AI in the military domain, and in the first global dialogue on AI governance coming up this summer. Because innovation means progress, for us humans and for our planet. So indeed, what better motto than people, planet, progress. Thank you.
प्रधानमंत्री जी, मैं आपके सकारात्मक विचारों के लिए आपको हार्दिक धन्यवाद देता हूं। अब मैं सेशल्स के उपराष्ट्रपति हिज एक्सेलेंसी सेबेस्टियन पिले को उनके संबोधन के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, and I want to thank the Government of India for their welcome and for hosting this AI Summit. Throughout these few days, we have learned many things. We have learned that Sanskrit could be the language of AI. We have also learned that AI is here to stay and that how it moves forward will depend on the buy-in that everyone carries into it. I had a very interesting meeting on my first day in India. I went to UIDI and found out about the Aadhaar, the unique number. And India managed to give a unique number to 1.4 billion people. And I'm thinking I have to give a unique number to 125,000 people. And I think it's possible. I think it's possible to use the technology at the apex that it has reached and integrate it within my system. I am already considered a high-income country. I already have one of the highest Human Development Index in Africa, and therefore integrating that technology into the processes that I have should make me or improve what I provide to the people. So we have acknowledged AI as a multidimensional technology that will transform the lives of people and society, and it should do so at an unprecedented rate. We've also viewed the multiple dimensions of power that exist, including its bases, resources like data, but also means the aspect of energy. And as a small country and as a small island developing state, as echoed by Mauritius, we do not have the same access to the technology as those bigger and larger countries. At the same time, as we go along the continuum and the transformation of transforming our economic base, and as we improve, as small island developing states, we do not get the same benefit as countries that form part of major international blocs. And we do not, again, benefit from concessionary loans, nor credit facilities, as do international blocs. Nor do we benefit from subsidies. So therefore, we need to rely on partners like India, who are prepared to transform or transcend the technology barrier and make that technology accessible for other countries. And that is what is necessary because we do not have the capacity to invest in the R&D that is required to make that technology available to us. Ladies and gentlemen, small countries like the Seychelles, we do not have oil, we don't have minerals, but we have a human capital. A human capital that has utilized and valued what it has and has transformed the society and turned it into a democratic, peaceful, stable, and secure one, an example to the world. And therefore, in that process, we feel that harnessing the power of AI in areas like improving the efficiency of our government, diversification of the economy, and building resilience, improving the quality of life, reducing the cost of living, ensure food security, biosecurity, and biosafety are the areas in which we want to go to. But to achieve that, as small island developing states, we need a buy-in from larger states. So we welcome the approach taken by India, and we hope and support India, and as part of the Indian Ocean region, so that we can move forward. Thank you, sir.
एक्सेलेंसी, सेशल्स के सबसे युवा उपराष्ट्रपति बनने पर मैं आपको हार्दिक बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। आपके सुविचारों के लिए आपका हार्दिक धन्यवाद। अब मैं स्पेन के प्रधानमंत्री हिज एक्सेलेंसी सांचेज को उनके संबोधन के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Thank you, Prime Minister Modi, distinguished leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Artificial intelligence is giving humanity an unprecedented power. It can expand knowledge, boost productivity, and improve well-being. And my country wants to be at the forefront of this transformation, not only using technology, but shaping it. Today, Spain ranks 6th globally in AI adoption and competitiveness. And this is not by chance. It is the result of a clear strategy based on sustained public investment, European cooperation, and a firm commitment to building technological sovereignty. The Telefónica-led initiative to deploy one of the European AI gigafactories in Spain illustrates our capacity and ambition. The same spirit guides our use of AI in the public sector with a simple goal: better public services and less bureaucracy. And we are succeeding. The OECD recognized Spain as a leader in AI in public administration. So we believe in AI for good. But while we believe in technology, we insist that it must be guided by human values. AI should expand human freedom, democracy, rights, not undermine them. We will also combat AI for bad. Because progress without ethics is not progress. And innovation without purpose is not leadership, it is a failure. AI accelerates, and our response must accelerate too. Risks such as extreme concentration of power, used by malicious actors, or loss of human control are real and growing, and we must tackle them. We must also face the environmental cost of AI or the risk of massive job displacement. Therefore, if we want AI to reach its full potential, we must confront these risks because the current safeguards fall short. And the response must be twofold. First, governments must work through their national frameworks. That is why my country, Spain, promoted the Charter of Digital Rights back in 2021 and created Europeans' first AI supervisory agency. And second, we need an inclusive global governance framework with the UN as our vehicle of choice. I want to congratulate the UN for the establishment of the AI expert panel last week. I think this is a critical milestone. My country is looking forward to hosting its first meeting in the next months. We also just hosted the third RE-AIM summit because the use of AI in the military is here to stay, but we need to ensure that it complies with international law, contributing to international peace and security. The AI Spain wants is safe, transparent, and aligned with the SDGs, and that is our commitment. AI in the general interest, not in the hands of a few. AI for good, not for bad. Thank you.
एक्सेलेंसी, आपके सकारात्मक सुझावों के लिए मैं आपका हृदय से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। अब मैं IMF की मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर हर एक्सेलेंसी जॉर्जिवा को उनके संबोधन के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Thank you very much, Prime Minister Modi. Namaste.
Namaste.
I want to start with a small story of me and my granddaughter. Me telling her how, when I was her age, there were no computers, no TV. And she looking up at me and saying, "So you only had iPads?" The moral of this story is that we live at a time of very rapid transformation, and AI is going to put this transformation on steroids. I want to talk about the economic impact and also of the gratitude I have towards India on taking AI to be for everyone. So, economic impact. We calculated, the IMF, that the potential for productivity growth and economic growth from AI over the next years is significant. It could give up to 0.8% boost to global growth. That would bring growth above the pre-pandemic trend, above it, and that can have tremendous benefits for society. We also look at the likely impact of AI on the job markets. And there, what we see over the next years is that AI is coming like a tsunami hitting the job markets. We estimate that globally about 40% of jobs will be impacted, either enhanced or some eliminated. And in advanced economies like Sweden, it would be 60%. So the question is, are we ready for this transformation? And Prime Minister Mitsotakis talked about it. Not quite yet. We have to pay very close attention to what is going to happen, where jobs would become more productive, but also what is going to happen to those tasks that are likely to be eliminated. So here is a very interesting piece of research we recently have done. It tells a fascinating story. What we see already that is people with the right talents that can apply new skills are on high demand, and they are paid much better than people that do not have these new skills. Now, what is the impact of that? They have more money in their pockets. They spend more on restaurants, on tourism, and as a result, low skills jobs increase, and people for these jobs are on high demand. Overall impact on employment positive. For one job with AI skills, we see 1.3 coming up because of this spread of money to demand for other jobs. But the jobs in the middle that are neither enhanced nor on higher demand, they get squeezed. And the most dangerous impact we see now is that routine tasks that are often started jobs for young people, they get automated and washed away. So what is the moral of the story? We have to pay more attention to how we prepare people for the job market of tomorrow. Now, I want to come to the point that is most exciting to me from this AI summit. And it is India's relentless focus on the human dimension of AI, delivering real benefits for real people, never forgetting the least fortunate among us. And I want to wholeheartedly thank you, Prime Minister Modi, for doing that. And thank you for your practicality, for the accessibility and reach of the models you develop. Because when some choose to impose large fees, you favor open source approach. And that, I think, is what distinguishes India. Beyond that, to the president of Guyana, of Mauritius, what you do is you think about bringing AI to do good for others. And in that sense, you are on the forefront of making things happen with the unique focus on democratizing AI. And I want to finish by recalling another time, the time of HIV/AIDS, when people were dying, and India came with cheap treatments that saved millions of lives. And I do wish from the bottom of my heart that you repeat this success story in the world of AI. Practical Indian AI for all. Thank you.
आपके सकारात्मक विचारों के लिए मैं आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। अब मैं जापान के प्रधानमंत्री हर एक्सेलेंसी ताकाइची के वीडियो संबोधन को प्रस्तुत करने के लिए आग्रह करता हूं।
内閣総理大臣の高市早苗です。AI インパクトサミットの開催にあたり、モディ首相のイニシアティブに敬意を表します。今回のサミットは AI の変革的なインパクトを人類全体の利益、包摂的な成長、地球保護に結びつけることを目指しており、日本もその趣旨に賛同します。AI によるイノベーションを促進し、経済社会の発展の原動力としていくためには、安全・安心で信頼できる AI エコシステムの構築が必要です。特に情報セキュリティをはじめ、AI がもたらすリスクを最小化しつつ、相互運用可能なエコシステムを共有することが重要です。その鍵となるのが信頼性です。日本はこのような考え方のもと、広島 AI プロセスを立ち上げて、生成 AI に関する初の国際規範を策定するなど、国際社会の議論をリードしてまいりました。今やグローバルサウスを含め60カ国地域がこの理念に賛同し、フレンズグループとして信頼できる AI の実現に取り組んでいます。AI イノベーションをリードする世界の名だたる企業もこのプロセスのパートナーです。今回新たにインドを代表する AI 企業がパートナーの輪に加わりました。来月、東京において広島 AI プロセス フレンズグループの閣僚級会合を開催します。今回のサミットの成果も踏まえ、充実した議論ができることを楽しみにしています。安全・安心で信頼できる AI エコシステムの実現には、理念や知見の共有にとどまらず、信頼に基づいた国際的な協力を通じてエコシステムの競争を進めていくことが肝要です。日本はこうした考えのもと、インドや ASEAN 諸国、アフリカ、中央アジアをはじめ、グローバルサウスとともに AI エコシステムの競争を進めています。各国の言語や文化の独自性が反映された信頼できる AI の開発から AI 人材の育成、共同研究の推進、各国が直面する社会課題に対する AI ソリューションの競争、AI の安全性の確保など、国・地域の実情に応じた AI エコシステムの実現に取り組んでいます。AI は私が掲げる成長戦略の要です。日本の信頼性という価値を AI で再現するため、信頼できる AI を作る官民投資を力強く推進していきます。共に信頼できる AI の実現に向けて取り組んでまいりましょう。結びに、この AI サミットをできる限り早期に日本でも開催したいと考えています。各国の皆様のご理解、ご支援を賜りたくよろしくお願いいたします。本サミットの成功を記念しております。ご清聴ありがとうございました。
एक्सेलेंसी, इस महत्वपूर्ण संदेश के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। एक्सेलेंसीज, आप सभी ने अपने बहुमूल्य विचार साझा किए, इसके लिए मैं हृदय से आपका आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। मुझे यह बताते हुए खुशी हो रही है कि एआई इम्पैक्ट समिट डिक्लेरेशन को अब तक 78 कंट्रियों का समर्थन मिल चुका है। ये हमारे साझा संकल्प का प्रतीक है कि हम मिलकर आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस को मानव कल्याण, समावेशी विकास और सामूहिक प्रगति का सशक्त माध्यम बना सकते हैं। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि आज के विचार विमर्श से वैश्विक स्तर पर हमारे साझा प्रयासों को नई दिशा और नई गति मिलेगी। ग्लोबल साउथ की प्राथमिकताओं को ध्यान में रखते हुए हमें यह सुनिश्चित करना होगा कि एआई का विकास सर्वजन हिताय, सर्वजन सुखाय इस भावना से परिपूर्ण हो। भारत इस दिशा में आप सभी के साथ मिलकर रचनात्मक सहयोग और सक्रिय भूमिका निभाने के लिए सदैव प्रतिबद्ध रहा है और आगे भी रहेगा। मैं एक बार फिर आप सभी के बहुमूल्य योगदान के लिए हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता हूं और अब यह सत्र हमारा समाप्त होता है। आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This brings us to the conclusion of the leaders' session. We shall reconvene after a technical break of 10 minutes, right back here. Thanks so much once again. Excellencies, just to reiterate, we shall reconvene for the minister.